Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I thought I'd give you a little tour. This is my first attempt at putting a deep sea control on a Generac generator. And let's back the camera up a little bit here and we'll go over what we've done. Okay, this is a Deep Sea 6120 Mark III AMF controller. I think AMF just means this is heated to keep the screen from getting condensation in it. So this is a really simple controller to put together and use. It is full function as far as I can tell. This monitors utility power coming in. This one will initiate the transfer through the 23 wire on Generac. This is going on a Generac, so I'm going to use Generac wire numbers and Generac speak for this. If you're a Kohler guy, I don't know. So yes, somebody is going to ask why I'm using a DATCON hour meter, an analog hour meter, and the answer is because I like them. And this is the original meter to the machine. It's got almost 900 hours on it. I'm certain that I could go in here in the editing software and edit the runtime in the DSE, but I don't want to fool with that. I want to keep the DSE at 0. Let this be at 894. That way I know how many hours the DSE's got on it and how many hours the engine's got on it. So that's my logic for that. Buttons on this, they're all sealed. They're chiclet, like an old Commodore PET, had the chiclet keyboard, or well, they feel like Commodore PET keys. So anyway, controller is really easy to navigate as far as I can tell. The software in the computer, which I'm not even going to show any of that. The software in the computer is where you change all your parameters in this, is just absolutely easy to work with. The only thing that I had trouble with was my oil pressure sensor and my water temperature sensor. I wanted to use standard off-the-shelf oil pressure and water temperature sensors. I used small block Chevy from like 1968 till almost 2000. Used the same oil pressure sensor, more or less. And I had to program that into the computer step by step, and it took me a little bit. I didn't like that. And same way with the water temperature sensor. I'll swing the camera around to show you what I'm talking about. So here I've got things mocked up. I've been testing and getting this worked up and set up and going. I just rigged up a little deal here to where I can hook up an air hose to this and check my sensor versus a known good gauge at various pressures. And it's close. It's within 3 psi, good enough. This machine will control the generator off of analog gauge senders. So you don't have to use the stupid switches that are always getting popped and leaking oil everywhere. So I like that. It simplifies. It's just one less sensor or switch to go bad and leave the machine broke down. Of course, there again, you've got one less data point that you can look at and scratch your head and wind your watch about. So like I said, this is just a standard Chevrolet oil pressure sender. The part number on this, the one that I'm using here, is specifically a Master Pro from Slow Riley's, and the part number is Sierra 8136 or Sierra 996. Got two part numbers on the same box. And this is a Chevrolet temperature sensor. I can't even remember. I think this is TX3, Tango X-Ray 3. If I remember right, you'd have to look that up. But this fits like every Chevrolet with this connector, with the 2-pin Ampex, I think, connector. They've used this, Chevrolet's used this sensor absolutely forever and on everything. So I wanted to use a common sensors that when the sensors go bad or a mouse bites them or whatever, I can just pick one up at Slow Riley's rather than having it ordered from the guys who wear orange and then waiting a week to get it. Plus, these are a lot cheaper. So I'll swing you over and we'll look over here at the wiring. Kind of excuse the mess here on the table. This is just some tray cable that I had. And this is my sensing for Tango 1, Tango 2, sensing for Echo 1, Echo 2, and then November 1, November 2. And then this is 23 and 15 going up to the transfer switch relay. So this machine started life as a C panel that was specifically built for, oops, I'm shaking the camera. Sorry, guys. This started off life as a C panel that was specifically built for MCI. I've happened to have a whole lot of these machines here in my area. I don't know how they came to be here, they're just here. But there's several of these and they all suffer from the same stuff. It's 1980s technology, probably 1970s technology on the timer boards and the control boards and the latching boards, and you can't get most of the boards for it anymore. The voltage regulator, I've replaced it. It is part number 067680, just a standard voltage regulator. And this little plug down here that fits that is a Golf 0700906. And that little plug's 26 bucks. Oh, here's one right here. Yeah. That looked like $26 to you. I guess it might as well be $1 million, but if you need it, you need it. So, I don't know if this deep sea control, I don't know how robust the relays are in it. So in order, just for isolation and to protect my controller, I'm running my 56 wire, my 14 wire, and my 23 wire. I'm running them through just regular old 5-pin automotive relays. These relays are just the standard 5-pin GM relay that they've always used. They're 15 bucks a piece, 10 bucks a piece. If you buy a box of them, you can get them for about $5 a piece for a 30 amp single pole double throw relay. They're dirt cheap, they're pretty robust, they're sealed, can't go wrong. So now the stuff that's running off the camera here, running back over here, this is, I keep shaking the camera, sorry guys. All of this stuff here, this is just temporary for now because I've been doing testing and jacking stuff into this for testing purposes. So over here on this strip here, I will have my diode. The diode goes here, and then I'm going to have my 10 ohm resistor to send power down to the 49 wire for the alternator. And then on this side, you got a 5 ohm resistor that sends power to the 29 wire that comes up here to the field boost diode to boost up wire 4. So those resistors were all bad. I couldn't find any good 10 ohm resistors that would carry the wattage. So I've had to order all this. I'm still waiting on my 5 ohm. I actually just ordered a bunch of 5 ohm resistors, and I'll double them up for the 10 ohm. I may have to put in another strip to give me room. But I'm going to tie those resistors down to one of these strips, these terminal strips, like such, so that makes them easier to replace if they do burn out or, in the future. everything wears out and everything eventually breaks. But this is kind of messy in here. Give me a minute. So this is what I've done here is all my terminals, like right here, here's a whole bank of 14s, and here's a whole bank of 15 wires. And 56 is over here. And these terminal strips here are basically everything forward of this is going into my deep C. Everything from this terminal switch or terminal strip back this way is going into the generator, the transfer switch, the engine, and stuff like this. And you've got a point to check everything. You can measure your voltages from here and make sure that everything is working. You know, when things go bad, you can actually you've got test points. I hate not having test points. My fuse block is back here in the back. And I do have a drawing of all of this stuff that will go with the machine. Of course, I'm going to save copies of it, but it'll have a drawing. I've made a new lead for the mag pickup. This had a really weird metric mag pickup originally, and I've made an adapter to adapt the hole that was in the bell housing to the modern 3H24 mag pickup. So that's what that is. And this is just a standard 3-pin plug that fits the new mag pickups, douche connector or whatever. There's the back of the DSE, real self-explanatory. Everything's been very open source. They were happy to talk to me. Now there's a bunch of Rockford, Illinois Yankees that you talk to when you call them from here, from the United States. So they do talk weird, and you can't understand about half of what they say. But hey, it is what it is. I can't blame them for living in Rockford. They probably, I don't know why they must not have their propishka to get out of Illinois. But anyway, that's not my business. So if you guys got any questions, just ask them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them as much as I can. In the meanwhile, y'all drive safe, watch for deer.